Alright, so if you watch my videos, this is going to be another low energy video. I might start doing this. It is what it is. Try to keep myself awake by talking. Anyway, so the wnba, they had their all-star game or whatever, and I guess they came out with in warm-ups with these shirts that said basically pay us what we're due. And I looked it up, and it said that they generate like $200 million or something like that, but like it wouldn't give me the WNBA isn't 100% transparent with their finances, for obvious reasons, but they rely on subsidies from the NBA. So basically they're in the negative. They don't generate money. And the funny thing about these women are, and I have to be careful about what I say about them because YouTube is pretty weak. You can't talk about certain folks on here, or else, because they're thin-skinned people. Anyway, one of them I'm talking about right now, they don't know anything about economics. They don't know anything about supply and demand. They don't know anything about generating revenue. And like, these people think that they're on the same level as the NBA. Like, they're not even close. Like, barely any of them can dunk. It's a rarity for any of them to dunk at all. And like, the skill is night and day. Like, you could probably throw a high school team out there and beat their best team. So it's like, they don't have the eyes because they don't have the appeal. I have to be careful how I word this, but if they made themselves look more like cute, like college volleyball players or college softball players, they put the little like accessories. They don't have to put makeup or nothing. Like, they don't wear makeup, but like, there's certain things that they do, like to make themselves look more appealing. The uniforms are more like fit, and that's how they should market their league. But they want there's a bunch of like women that look like guys out there playing, and like, they don't have the highest skill. It's not like they're out there dunking the basketball, or like, they're just not as skilled as the NBA players. So like, they're not going to get as many eyes. And they don't understand this, and they want to be paid the same as them, and it's just like, you're nowhere near on the same level as these people. That's why they get paid millions. But I'm honestly, like, since like the NBA players are like communists or whatever, how they're for BLM and all that crap, I think that they should willingly volunteer like their salaries to make it so they get paid equal to women. Since they want to be communists, that's how they should do it. They shouldn't be getting. They should all get paid the same across the board. Like, if that's how they want it. And that's what communism is. You make the same no matter what. So, if these players are really for communism, like, put your money where your mouth is. But like, that's not gonna happen. You might see a couple players like try to do something for him, but And the funny thing is, like, the player that gets the most eyes is Caitlin Clark, and pretty soon it's going to be Paige Burke Buchlers or whatever. I don't want to say her last name. Anyway, they're going to get the most eyes. Angel Reese gets eyes as well, but nowhere near as like how much they will get. It is what it is. But the fact that like you see them trying to hurt Caitlin Clark, it seems like, when they will get more revenue for the league if she's on the floor. So it's kind of stupid to take her out. Like, I've heard of things, I don't know if it's true, but games that Caitlin Clark playing, they charge way more for tickets. But when she's out, like she's injured, she's been injured a lot this year, I guess. They lower the ticket prices by a lot. Nobody wants to watch that stuff. Caitlin Clark is a star, like it's like a Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? She's changing the face of the league, and I question the expansion too. I question why they're expanding, and it's a little bit too soon for them to expand. I think they're trying to get to 18 teams. I just think that you probably need to like be in the positive without any type of help when it comes to revenue before you want to start expanding the league. But you know, what do I know? I'm just a cornmeal operator. That's all I am. I'm just a nobody, so I don't know shit. But the thing is, a lot of these women that don't know anything about economics and how supply and demand work, they went to college. You know what I mean? Like, most of them went to college for 4 years, so like they're educated, and they still don't understand economics at all. And why they don't get paid like the men. You know, people are tired of this crap. Like, men, I'm sure men OnlyFans don't get paid like the women OnlyFans. You know, there's a lady called Sophia Rain. I think she made like $40 million last year from these guys. And like, you don't hear guys crying like, "Oh, how come I don't get paid like Sophia Rain," or like these dude porn stars. Like, they don't get paid as much as the actual porn stars. You know what I mean? So we're different. Like, we're not the same. We're not equal. Like, we have things that we're good at and things that we're not. Like, on both sides. Like, I'm just tired of this. Like, we can do whatever men can do. Yeah, you can, but it's probably not as not on most things. You're not going to be at our level. And I'm sorry to break it to you, but how many Navy SEALs are women? You know what I mean? It's just like, how many trash ladies are there? How many oil workers, like roughnecks, are there that are women? I'm not saying there isn't any. I'm just saying, like, compared to men, you're not going to get as much. You know, like, we dominate. It is what it is, man. Like, when you see like a homeless person, you see a man and a woman, like, who are you going to feel bad for? You're going to feel bad for the woman before you feel bad for the guy. You know, why is that? Well, because the guy can probably take care of himself better than the woman can physically. He could probably get out there and work. I mean, women can make money too, but they do it like seductively, you know? I mean, like, if you're a woman and you're homeless, like, you're crazy. You know how many guys want a girlfriend? It's like, maybe the guy isn't like what you want, but it's like, maybe you aren't what you think you are either. You know, like, there's so many people that think that they're better than they actually are, but they're really not. I try to stay really, really, really grounded and understand what I am. I'm a fucking peasant. I'm a background person. I'm not really. I don't really mean much except for the people in my, my kids and family and shit like that. But like when I pass away, like nobody's gonna remember me. All the stuff that I created is gonna be in the trash. Like nobody's gonna care about any of the shit I created. The music, the books, all the content. It's gonna fade away. Like most people, like look at your ancestors, even just like your grandparents, like your grandparents' grandparents. Like most of the time, you probably haven't even met your great grandparents. Like you don't know anything about them. Usually, like I don't know. This is my experience, and I think it's gotten worse. Is you just care less, especially when you're younger. You don't care. Yeah, we're trying something different out, like, because like when I was, like I said already yesterday, I was trying to stay awake for my 40-mile ride, and it is pretty brutal. But maybe I'm not going to be as articulate, but yeah, after working 12 hours. I have a long drive. Been up all night. I'm trying something different besides eating crap. I'm trying to get back into different things. I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. My life is changed a lot in the last 6 months. So a lot's happened. It's happened really, really quickly. But I feel like I'm in a good position. I mean, I'm in an okay position. Anything can happen at any time to derail my comfort, my security. For instance, like I'm consolidating my debt. Maybe they'll sue me. I don't know. So, like, with the resources I think I have, might be taken away. For me, I can relate to Gen Z a lot because it feels like I'm not getting anywhere. And that's what they feel like. They feel like they're not getting anywhere in this life. Because, like, when you work hard, you should feel like you get somewhere. But if you're just like working, if you're not getting anywhere, it just feels like slavery, basically. And I think that's where a lot of people are at right now. They feel like, especially Gen Z, man. Like, if you have a family and you got a wife or something like that, you have that to work for. Like that keeps you motivated to work hard and want to achieve things. When you look at the landscape of things and you see like, oh dude, you think there's a scarcity of women. Oh man, there's gonna be a big scarcity. Like, dude, Richard Cooper is so, like, these red pill guys, they're like living like 10 years ago, man. Like, they don't live in reality. They keep on talking about this high value crap. Like, so I become a high value man, then what do I get? You think I'm gonna get like a high value woman? No, what I'm gonna get is probably a gold digger. That's what I'm gonna get. Like, I'm putting in all this work to try to, attract a woman. Well, like, I'm a CEO of a business, I'm an entrepreneur or whatever. I got money, I got a good body. I'm checking all these boxes, like these influencers telling you to do. It's like, dude, it's like, I unrealistic. Like all the shit that they say, man. High status. Okay? What am I gonna attract? It's not gonna be some like good woman that probably wants to, she might want to have kids or whatever, but she's gonna be a fucking gold digger, man. And if that's all she cares about me for is my money, chances are you're not gonna check all the boxes. I mean, dude, it's highly unlikely you're gonna check every single box. A lot of things gotta go right for you. Like Richard Cooper, a lot of good things happen to that guy. There's a lot of the fact that he's got status, right place at the right time. All these YouTubers that got status, right place at the right time. Somebody else, well, they didn't make it on their own. Somebody propped them up. Somebody gave them a chance. They used to have I don't know if they have the red pill meeting or whatever anymore, but they used to have these different red pill guys that would go on this they would live stream for a couple hours. They'd have a Rolo on there and Richard Cooper, these different red pill guys. They would bring some new guys on, and that's where you get your chance. Yeah, to check all those boxes is it's pretty much impossible, and it's kind of pointless. It's kind of pointless because if I do check all those boxes, the woman's probably only gonna want me for my money anyway. So I might as well if it's just about our looks, what they act like. They're like, oh, young women. Have you seen young women, dude? They act like the young women right now are the same as when I was growing up. The young women are fucked. A good portion of them have OnlyFans. So you're out talking about wife and mom material. They're obese. Okay, you're out. There's a good portion that are obese. I remember watching my kid's graduation and seeing 10 fat women, fat girls, pretty close to women at that time, just walking the stage. They were just a little bit overweight. They were 250, 300 pounds, man. They were overweight. There was a good 10 of them. Then you got the activists, these radicals. They're in a cult, in a leftist radical cult. And then you got the ones that are gay or whatever. So they're automatically removed from. So it's or they're high maintenance. They only care about you for your money. So I don't understand why they upset. I understand yes, the youthfulness, they have more seeds, but a lot of them I don't know, they're just worthless, man. 70s, 80s, young women, they weren't worth a fuck. The women nowadays, young women, they ain't worth shit. I'm not even that attracted to them. I mean, they can make themselves look good, but it's they're basically a one-trick pony, man. Just okay, they look good, but if it's all about looks and just fucking make money and fucking go to overseas and get a prostitute. I don't know, or go to Las Vegas. You know what I mean? If that's all it's about, what's the point? Maybe you can get one of these women that are high maintenance that only cares about your money, and you can get them pregnant, and then they can take half of your shit. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just they say a lot of good things, but I just don't think that those really matter anymore. I really don't. I used a lot of the stuff that they were saying when I was dating. But things have changed. maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm old too. Like, I don't really like to date anymore. I mean, honestly, what changed for me was when I had that HIV scare and I thought I gave it to somebody that I really care about. That's when it changed for me. That's when it was like, dude, you're telling me that I have HIV. I gave it to somebody I really cared about. Now I have to find out who gave it to me. And I might have gave it to other people along the way as well. So I gotta like, man, I don't even remember like most of the women I slept with. Like, I have a high body count and it's not good. I'm not bragging about it at all. But to have that, like, yeah, you can sit here and HIV isn't a death sentence or anything like that was like when I was a kid, growing up when I was like 10, hearing about HIV for the first time, somewhere around then. And back then it was a death sentence. Well, now you're going to have to be on some type of drugs for the rest of your life, and they're not cheap. To prevent your immune system from, I don't know what they do. I haven't really, I'm just like, I'm really tired. But, so, that's a shitty fucking feeling, man. When I thought I had HIV, dude, that shit was, I felt like horrible, man. Like, it wasn't necessarily like me. Like, if I was to get it, well, whatever, then like, okay, who gives a fuck about me? You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna die someday anyway, so it's like, but the fact that if like you get something like that and like you're with somebody and you give it to them, that's a shitty fucking feeling, man. So that slowed me down when it comes to sleeping around with women. Like, I don't even know. Like spinning plates, yeah. And things are different now, man. Like, it's not like before 2021. We all know what happened. We all know what happened in 2020. Socializing is a lot different. People are a lot more distant, and it's gonna get even worse. Especially like women going towards husband foods or wife foods for whatever, man. Like they don't really need us. They don't need sex like we do. They can go without. They can go a while. Like they have toys for themselves, and there's no stigma when it comes to that. So there is for a guy, it's different for us. We're looked at like losers. I mean, we're different. Like, we're not the same. Women are looked at differently than men. They're more appealing when it comes to appearance than us. I don't understand how they're, I understand how they're attractive because it's not just looks. There's multiple different ways that they're attracted to us, and it makes sense, We're just more visual, men are. Women are more emotional, obviously. So, I'm seeing like Richard Cooper saying, "Oh, there's not a scarcity of women." It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Yes, there is, and there's plenty of men that aren't getting any type of attention from women that can say, "Oh yeah, well yeah, all the high value men are getting all the women." Yeah, I think that's gonna fucking change too. I think like women are gonna get tired of that shit. Maybe they won't. I don't know. Maybe they're fine sharing like one guy. And him like not having any time for them, maybe there'll be a lot of more cucks. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not about that. I'm not a cuck. And I was thinking about it is when I was sleeping around, it's mostly one night stands. The reason why I went with one night stands and I didn't try to go for like relationships is because like I couldn't hold that persona for a long time. Like, if they really got to know me, they wouldn't like me. So I had to pretend I was somebody I wasn't. Oh, yeah. They don't like you for who you really are, man. Me personally, I don't like taking the lead all the fucking time. I'm fine with somebody else driving the car. I'm fine with, just showing up and not having to, plan everything. I'm not a control freak. You know what I mean? I can lead, I can support, I can follow. I'm more comfortable just going with the flow. I do my own thing. I'm basically a lone wolf. I really am. But when it comes to social shit, I don't like planning shit, man. I like doing what I like to do, but usually people don't like to do what I like to do. So it's that's why I don't like to have conversations and shit. Why am I quiet? Well, because when I talk about shit, people are just looking at me like I'm fucking weird. You know, every once in a while I'll come up with something clever, to throw in. People laugh. But if I don't have anything clever to throw out there, it's usually I have to have energy. Man, I'm just drained. And I was listening to LAF. He's a YouTuber, red pill YouTuber guy, and I like some of the stuff he says. It's kind of more realistic, you know what I mean? Instead of these fake guys that are just trying to sell you shit, Rollo Tomasi, fucking Rich Cooper. They're trying to sell you shit, man. But LFA is talking about how his social battery was just dead. And I relate to that in a lot of different ways. Consuming content, I consume a lot of content, and then I make content. And it almost feels like I'm socializing, consuming content and then making content. Because who am I talking to? I'm obviously talking to somebody. A couple, even if it's two people. Two people are listening, so I'm talking to somebody. Even though we're not directly talking, it's when I listen to content, there's this guy, I don't even know his name, but I've been listening to him lately. I forgot his name, but I could be listening to Tim Pool or something like that. It's a one-sided conversation. I'm just listening, and there's no input. They just, Sticks Hexenhammer. I don't really listen to him too much anymore, but it's kind of like a relationship almost. You tune in. It's like a TV show. You would, back in the day, I would this Tuesday I'd be watching this TV show. It's a new episode, blah blah blah, or the rerun or whatever. It's kind of like that. Maybe some people do that with my content. I don't know why. I think I'm pretty fucking boring. Maybe if they do, it's probably because my content isn't predictable. Maybe some things are relatable or something like that. And I don't think that people will probably listen to my shit too long. Yeah, it's kind of like having some type of social interaction without having the other person there, reacting. So it's a weird thing, consuming content and being a content creator, because it probably feels like I'm talking directly to you. You know what I mean? When I'm listening to Tim Pool or whatever, it feels like he's directly talking to me. Even though he's not, he's talking to a bunch of different fucking people. But it feels like he's talking directly to you. It feels like I'm directly talking to you. So it feels kind of like a relationship. Kind of like a friendship almost. And I think that's probably, I know it sounds fucking weird, But, you know, it's kind of like you're listening to a Joe Rogan podcast or something like that. You know, you're not involved, but you're just sitting here listening, you know? Because, like, not everyone can talk at once when you have, like, a group of people. So, you could be that guy that's just listening, you know what I mean? Just listening to the conversation. And you don't really put much out there. I mean, you could put a comment or something like that, but maybe somebody like me that's a nobody, like, I'm going to see the comments. But somebody that has a lot of people commenting, they're not gonna see your comment usually. It is what it is, you know. Like, it's weird. Like, this is what it's like for women. They get so much attention. I can relate to some type of way, because I have, like, on X, Twitter, I only, like, basically you can pop up the notifications from just verified or non-verified, and I don't even, like, look at the non-verified anymore. I mean, most of the time the non-verified is going to be somebody saying, like, really negative shit to me, and I really don't have the energy to fucking just, I really don't give a fuck. Usually, like, they're a fucking leftist because you know, they all sit there and they hate Elon, and they don't want to get the check marks, even if they have a high subscriber count or followers. They don't want to get the check mark because they want to, like, like, they're, like, rebelling. But, like, if you get the check mark, it puts you in the algorithm more. So they're pretty fucking stupid people. Like, they well, you pay for your blue check mark. Well, like, dude, I mean, I don't know about now. I got suspended, so I don't know if I'm gonna get monetized anymore. But I was getting paid, so, like, I mean, like, when I was on track, but, you know, I'm getting paid like $40 every 2 weeks. So, like, yeah, I pay what, $12 every month. I mean, you figure it out. For me just to talk shit up to people on there, that's basically what I do on Twitter. I just, like, talk shit. But so like, that's what it's like for women, because they get so many guys. So, like, I'm a regular guy, right? So if I was to get in their DMs or whatever, they look at somebody like me, like a regular fucking nobody, and they're like, I'm like an unverified user. That's how they look at me. You know, oh, cool. Like, thanks for the fucking impression. Thanks for the view. But it's like, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit about you. Unless, like, you're paying them, you know, giving them money, then they'll give a fuck. Maybe some of them don't, because they have so many guys to give them money, they just don't give a shit. So that's a little bit of in there. I'm not a major content creator, but I'm kind of like, like, I have my foot, I got my, like, my fingernail in the door. Like, I could kind of, like, I get a peek what's on the other side. At the same time, I'm just a nobody as well. So, like, my perspective is a little bit different from everybody else's. You know, like, the fact that, like, the like, the fact so many kids want to be content creators, and they don't understand you have to work, like, basically every single day, even if you don't want to do it. Yeah, it's kind of cool making content, but you have to keep even if you don't want to, even if you're on vacation or whatever, you have to keep making content. You have to come up with some new ideas. You know, that's why I like these live streamers are saying, man, it's a harder job than your 9 to 5, because they have to sit here and, I'm not saying they have a harder job. I'm not saying that, but they have to come up with these different concepts. They have to be intriguing. They have to keep coming up with new ways to get your attention, to keep your attention. You know, if they don't and they start sucking or whatever, then they start losing money, and they depend on that money. You know, so like I don't depend on that Twitter money. That money could be gone now. I don't know. I make these videos just because I feel like making them, but that's enough.